12 signature scent worthy fragrances, and I have got a range covering pretty much every kind of price bracket, covering every season, summer, spring, fall, winter. So we're going to go through a list that I think is pretty diverse, no matter what your tastes are, no matter what your budget are. This is going to be a good list, but I'd love to know down in the comments what would be a couple of your picks for great signature scents. Remember to give a signature click to the like button if you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't. I've got videos like this coming out every couple days, and I hope you'll join us. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, we're running through in the beginning 6 designers, then we're going to head into 6 clones, and so they're going to be much less expensive in the second half of the video. This first one, about a $24 fragrance right now on Joma Shop or whenever Fragrance Buy has it. Pretty inexpensive designer. This is one that if you like licorice, you probably want to pick it up. This is called Lacoste Live. And it is a licorice-focused fragrance. That's not all there is in it. There's lime and licorice in the opening. There's a good bit of woodiness in the base, kind of woody aromatic in the base. But that standout, because it's unique and it's one of my favorite notes, is the licorice. Again, Lacoste Live. And I would say this is, you know, a great spring or fall fragrance, although you could pull it off just about any time. Now this next one, this is definitely more of a fall-winter fragrance, and this is one that was discontinued and very expensive until right about a year ago. Some secret stock must have been found, and I've seen this consistently now for less than $50. This is Mercedes Infinite Spicy by Olivier Cresp. And this is a woody, spicy, oriental fragrance. It's in the family of something. It actually reminds me a lot of Bulgari Man in Black. So, you know, not too far off from Spice Bomb, although it is definitely closer to Man in Black than Spice Bomb. Similar kind of fragrance though, woody and some hot spiciness, good kind of strong cedar note. So powerful spice, powerful woods. This one right here, Infinite Spicy. You know, less than $50, and this is, again, probably more fall-winter focused. This next one is a new release. I'm a little late to the party. I couldn't get a hold of it until just the last few weeks. I saw that it finally came to Mugler's US website. I'm talking about this one right here. This is the new Amen Phantasm. And I absolutely love the Amen fragrances. I love the original. I still wear it regularly. I've even got a couple different dupes and things that smell like it that I wear regularly. And many of the flankers as well. They were all, the ones that I've smelled, all actually pretty excellent. This one does have a good bit in it that will remind you of the original. There is this sort of aromatic coffee feel in the opening, sort of like a mint coffee vibe like the original, which sounds weird, but it actually works really well. And the original is a surprising compliment magnet. But then this one really focuses on the gourmand elements of the original. It's not as aromatic, it's not quite as spicy, and it is sweeter with a real focus on chocolate. And so if you were to tame the original a little and really emphasize some kind of chocolatey goodness and some extra sweetness, that's what you're going to get. It's a great performer. It's about an 8-hour fragrance on me. Pretty much fall, winter, I would say, but probably winter would be like the ultimate pick. But you can wear what you want, when you want. I'm just making recommendations. And Mugler has this. If it's your first purchase off the site, you can get it for $48 with a 20% off discount they give you with your first purchase. $48 for the 50 ml. That's insane for a brand new fragrance these days. All right, next we'll go with this one. This one's also in around that $50 price range, and this is kind of a modern classic at this point. It is such an excellent fragrance. The original Valentino Uomo. And this one right here is going to give you a lot of similarities to Uomo Intense, which is definitely outshined this one now. But if there is iris in this fragrance, it's significantly rolled back. This one focuses more on woods. There's a myrtle note, there's a cedar note, and it focuses more on some gourmand notes. There's a strong hazelnut, there's a touch of chocolate, there's some leather. Very interesting fragrance, and again, For the 50 ml, you can get it in that $50 price range usually when you find it in stock, the original Valentino Uomo. This next one we're jumping up to around probably the $70 or so price range, maybe even $80, but this is an excellent fragrance, possibly the best in the Versace Eros line. This is Versace Eros Parfum. And of course, this is a vanilla-focused fragrance, but this one is a fruity, aromatic take on the Eros DNA. You've still got, of course, that vanilla. You've got some apple, although I think this one maybe has, I can't remember, some different apple note. You've got that sort of aromatic mintiness in the opening, but the fruitiness in the opening is, to me, quite pronounced in this one as compared to the EDP or even the original. Any of the Blue Bottle Eros fragrances are going to be quite similar, and this one is awesome. Great performance and not quite as sweet, a little more grown up than the EDT and even the EDP Eros Parfum. I have the whole line except for Energy. I'll eventually pick that one up. All right, next up, this one unfortunately is sort of hanging around that $90 to $100 price range. I haven't seen this one come out on a really good discount at discounters, but it is an awesome, awesome fragrance. I'm talking about Azzaro's Wanted Parfum. And so this fragrance is in the vein of something like Stronger With You, except this one really focuses on this kind of bourbon vanilla. And then you've got a what they call incandescent woods, but just a very slightly kind of smoked woodiness. And then on the top, you've got this very vibrant, sparkly ginger. There's other notes as well. That's all that the brand gives you though. But some people compare that ginger opening in this one to something like soda, even like a grape soda. And there, I know what is meant by that, although it doesn't actually smell grape, but it does smell great. This is an excellent, gorgeous, compliment getting. It lasts forever. This is easily a 10 to 12 hour fragrance on me, but you are going to pay around that $100 price range for this one. All right, next, so now we're heading into 6 clone fragrances, and these are going to start very inexpensive. This one right here you can get on Amazon right now for right around like $20 to $22. It is a dupe of Dior Homme Sport. This is Fragrance World's Parfum d'Homme Sport. And it's basically a kind of woody fragrance chemical, you know, like Amber Max, kind of even ISOE Super, sort of woody, light, refreshing, very pleasant, very attractive. It is a compliment getting fragrance. Smells very clean, but not soapy. It's pretty light, but it does last surprisingly a fair amount of time, about a 6-hour fragrance on me. Really good stuff, quite similar to the Dior, which is also a synthetic smelling fragrance. It's just the type of fragrance that it is. This is, again, Parfum d'Homme Sport. Okay, next, this one, if you can find it, is going to be in that, you know, low 20s, maybe mid 20s. FragranceBuy.ca is the place I've had the best luck finding Just Jack fragrances, a branch of Armaf. This one is absolutely incredible. This is Just Jack Amalfi Coast, and it is a dupe of Mandarino di Amalfi by Tom Ford. It's the ultimate spring fragrance. It is it's green, it is aromatic, it's got some sweetness, it's aquatic. It's if you're familiar with John Varvatos Artisan Pure, there are some real similarities, although this one has definitely got more sweetness. I actually prefer this one to Artisan Pure. If you can find it, especially around that $25 range, if anything I just said sounds good, you would be crazy not to pick it up. This is, again, Amalfi Coast. All right, next, now we're heading up to maybe the high 20s, bumping up closer to 30. This is an Armaf fragrance that there's a lot of debate about what exactly it's duping, but this is Odyssey Homme Black. Some people have said this is Tom Ford. It's either Noir or Noir Extreme. Others have said it's Valentino Uomo Intense. And I can sort of catch why those are being talked about. There is a similar sort of gourmand sweetness and a little bit of spice like the Tom Ford. There is some iris like Valentino Uomo. and similar kind of dark sweetness. But I don't know what it's cloning. I just know it's got some iris, it's got some leather, it's got a little bit of sort of a gourmand sweetness. So to me, it doesn't smell quite like either of the fragrances I just mentioned to you, and I'm quite familiar with both of them. But it is interesting. It's dark. Several of my family members love this and wear it all the time. Odyssey Homme, the black bottle. I think this one and white were the first two that came out. All right, this next one, I believe I paid about $45 for this gigantic bottle. I thought I was buying 100 ml. This is a 200 ml. This is Mercedes-Benz Intense. Look at this monster-sized bottle. And this, I've barely used any. I mean, I've probably sprayed 10 ml, but it's such a huge bottle that it's barely put a dent in it. This is a modernized, more palatable, mass-pleasing take on the Dior Fahrenheit DNA. So again, it's got a little more sweetness. It's not as gasoline strong, but it's the same kind of DNA. I do prefer this to Dior Fahrenheit just because it's a little sweeter. It doesn't smell quite as dated as Fahrenheit does, although I still think Fahrenheit smells great. But this stuff, you can get a 100 ml usually for like in the mid to high 30s, which is a steal. This is Mercedes-Benz Intense. All right, next, this is one that's been getting some love, been getting some hype because it brought back a discontinued DNA, which is L'Homme Ultime. It's a spicy aromatic fragrance, warm, spicy aromatic fragrance. This is Risasi It's Essential. Of course, you have ginger like the original. You've also got some woodiness. You've got actually a pretty powerful aromatic vibe. You've even got a touch of rose in here, but with all of those spicy aromatic notes, it doesn't come across as a rose fragrance. There is a little bit of a floral heart with a lot of kind of explosive spice and aromatics off the side. A little bit of a classic feel, very classy, very, you could wear this suit and tie easy. Risasi It's Essential. And finally, number 12. This is one of my favorite clones in my entire collection. I've got a bunch of things that smell like Dior Homme Intense, including Dior Homme Intense. I think this one probably gets closest to that DNA. This is Cayenne Classic by Al Watania. You can now get this on Fragrance Buy for $40 or less. You can get it even on Amazon for around the same price, bumping up against $40. If you want something that just smells beautiful, it's an iris fragrance, it's woody, it's got some warmth and some sweetness, but powerful lipsticky iris, this is what you want right here, Cayenne Classic by Al Watania. So that has been 12. Each of these are, again, what I would say very signature scent appropriate, but let me know some of your top picks down below, and of course, give your signature move, your click to the like button, and subscribe if you haven't. I am Justin. This is Sillage Scents. Thanks for watching.